This morning's guest puts on 2 conferences every year. He's added a third, and it could be for you. Find out what it's all about coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in the lobby of the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce at 1200 North Oak Street in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on the first annual Myrtle Beach Golf Conference to be held in November. And we're visiting with Dr. John Stamey, the General Chair. Good morning, Dr. Stamey.
Good morning.
Correct? Are you the General Chair?
I'm the General something.
You're the General of...
I'm the General Chair.
You are the General of the event, and we are
Something
very
like
exciting.
that.
Someone's got to lay down the law.
That's exactly right. Well, we're really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We are thrilled to get you in. What about the lobby here on a Monday morning before they open up? They're kind enough to let us in, and obviously some other folks snuck in.
That's exactly right. It was early, and I didn't have a lot of traffic, so that was good.
I understand you were out golfing yesterday. How'd that
Well,
go?
unfortunately, I was out golfing, and I'd been reading some books from the late 50s and early 60s, some of Ben Hogan's old stuff, and I hurt my back.
No. You
Yeah, I
hurt your
did.
back yesterday?
Yeah, well, yesterday and the week before, you add the two together, and it was bad. So what I've been doing, this morning I got up, what I should have been doing is going on YouTube. Now, you remember I do write the internet column. You get to see that once a week.
I've seen that in the Myrtle Beach Herald,
Once a
popular
week.
community newspaper.
That's right. So what happened is I said, I've got to do better, and I talked with the pro out at my course, Chip Weisgerber, and he said, John, get to YouTube and look at some of those golfers that are playing well today. Watch them swing, and you'll see them doing some things that you shouldn't be doing with your back. And so last night and this morning I was watching a couple analyses of Sergio Garcia's swing, because that guy has probably got the best swing on the tour right now.
Right.
And I saw some things that I shouldn't have been doing Sunday. I wish I'd looked at that Saturday night, or I wouldn't be so sore this morning, but that's okay.
Well, you got up and at 'em, and we're here, and of course the golf conference
Exactly.
is coming up fast. I mean, literally, we've got, what?
It's about 90 days.
2.5 months away. Yeah,
it's
3 months
you're
away.
Right,
That's
maybe
right.
just under 90 days
Right,
away.
Right. It's amazing that it's coming up so soon. And why should viewers be interested in this golf conference, John?
First of all, Greg, Myrtle Beach is the golf capital of the world. You know
Of the
that.
world?
Yes, it is.
What about Palm Springs or Scotland or somewhere? I mean, you know.
Well, those are someone else's worlds.
Oh, yeah,
This is
yeah.
our world,
Right.
and Myrtle Beach is the golf capital of our world. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what happened was, can I tell you the story of how this conference
fill
happened?
us in, absolutely.
You know, out at Coastal, as with all universities, we have to do research. And I was just thinking one day, it was a couple months ago, I said, I'd like to do some research about golf because I've just started back playing. It's a lot of fun. So I thought about, well, what's the most reasonable problem I could attack as someone in a computer science department? And I said, well, what about forecasting rounds of golf? Because, I've got Taylor DeMont's a friend of mine, and he and Gary Loftus are head of the Clay Britton Center for Tourism at Coastal.
Right.
And they're all the time trying to forecast hotel nights.
Right.
And I thought, well, maybe I ought to look into forecasting golf rounds. So I called up Chip he's the pro at Quail Creek. He said, John, that would really be a lot of help. I mean, they've talked about it, but we haven't really gotten there yet. I said, well, let me start looking at the problem. So I started trying to look around to see what research people had done on forecasting golf rounds, and I found zero.
Zero?
No scholarly articles written about that. And in fact, when I was looking at just the amount of scholarly articles in general about golf, I found less than 50. And so I said, well, this doesn't seem right. Golf's a $90 billion a year industry.
No way. 9-0.
It's a $90 billion a year industry. It fuels the Myrtle Beach economy. It fuels Orlando, Palm Springs, San Diego.
Right.
Canada. Do you know that Canada has the largest percentage of people that play golf in the world?
Oh, come on.
Do you know that 5.6% of all Canadians play golf?
Golf on a regular basis?
Yes.
Wow.
And actually, 5.6% are members of clubs and
That's
play
incredible.
golf.
So even more probably are active golfers.
Exactly. So anyway, as big as golf is, and as well-known golf is in Myrtle Beach, I mean, we used to come down here on vacation all the time just to play golf. Never went to the beach. So anyway, I looked around. There weren't many articles, and one name kept coming up over and over and over, and that was Dr. Andrew Tiger of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Now, I'm going to, when this gets on the web, I'm going to tell Andy to be sure to watch this, because Andy's actually one of the 2 keynote speakers of our conference. But I'll tell you what, when I saw that there was one major researcher in Oklahoma and one up at the Cornell Hospitality School, I said, you know, that something might need to be done. So I called up Andy, and he was very nice. He was excited that someone had called him up about his research in golf. He's got about, I guess, 10 or 12 publications, and we talked quite a while. I was so intrigued with what he had done. A lot of his research focuses on how should you space golfers to tee off during the day to maximize the return and to maximize their experience, which is kind of a neat thing. And his research kind of matches what a lot of pros do between 11 and 12 minutes, sometimes 13 minutes. His research kind of maximizes what they've learned as a rule of thumb, but you know, he was able to prove that that actually will work. Really? We talked for about an hour and a half on that first conversation, and I finally said, Andy, I can find some money. We need to bring you here. Maybe we ought to do a workshop on golf. He said, boy, that'd be great because I could come to Myrtle Beach and talk. And I said, yeah, and of course, what can we do after you talk? He got the hint. He said, well, yeah, we can play golf too. so that's all well and good. So the next day I was thinking about it. I talked with Chip Weisgerber over at Quail Creek.
Right.
And then Chip said, that's a great idea. It'd be wonderful. You know, the PGM students, because, you know, Coastal Carolina has got one of the 20 professional golf management programs in the country. And it's nationwide, and it's a fine program. Headed by, of course, the Colonel himself, Charlie Thrash.
Oh, we love Charlie.
You know Charlie.
Of course. I just played in the Red Cross tournament.
That's right.
Chaired by Charlie.
Exactly. So what happened was Chip told Charlie, and so the next day I went over, I was talking with Chip, and Charlie was there, and they were really excited. So I just started calling it a conference. And it went from calling Andy to find out why there's no research in golf to 4 days later it became a conference. And I felt a little strange about it, but I said, well, why not? And so I talked with some people that I've worked with in putting on conferences before, and they said, yeah, that's a great idea. So about a week later, up came MyrtleBeachGolfConference.com.
I love it. I love it. What a great name, and easy to search and to find great information on there. I printed out a lot of the info that's sitting out in front of us this morning. Right. So anyway, we formed a committee. Chip's on the committee. Charlie Thrash is on the committee. Andy Tiger's on the committee. Tim Burcham is on the committee. He's from University of Tennessee at Martin. Yes.
So we have a number of people on the committee, and as I started talking about this event, people got very excited.
Sure.
The folks at Horry Georgetown Tech, they've got a very fine turfgrass management program.
Oh, yeah.
And so Rick McGinnis, who's the head of that program, he said, I'd love to put together a panel, on turfgrass problems and the greenskeeping area. Well,
absolutely.
So that led me directly to the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America, which has got thousands of members, and it's a very important organization in the world of golf. Those are the guys that are really responsible for making our golf courses beautiful, and they're also responsible for conservation techniques so that we properly use our golf courses and we don't do anything wrong with the environment. I called up the GCSAA and found out that their ultimate president, is Dave Downing from Myrtle Beach.
He is from Myrtle Beach.
Right, and he's the head superintendent for Signature Golf Group. They're headquartered down there just south of Surfside.
Right.
They own Indigo Creek and Burning Ridge. And so Dave volunteered to be the other keynote speaker. So we've got two really good people that are experts in golf, that have a vested interest in golf, want to see the sport continue to grow, and to continue to mature as it has.
Absolutely.
We can kind of look at it and say, golf's first leg was when it started. Then the second leg, or the second generation, came when tournaments were first broadcast on television. And thank you, Arnold Palmer.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't for
Latrobe, Pennsylvania, Wake Forest graduate, yes.
Exactly. Arnold Palmer was the first superstar of golf, and it was his career coincided right with golf being done on television. He won the Canadian Open. It was actually broadcast on television. Greater Greensboro Open, he won that.
Right.
Portions of that were broadcast on television. So, the second wave, the second generation of golf comes in the mid-'50s. And thank you, Arnold Palmer. And then comes Jack Nicklaus.
Great, John. You're filling in viewers. That's
and then
very good.
here comes Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods
and while
has been a real
he may be out right now with some problems with his legs, but he'll be back. And then, of course, come the LPGA Tour, which fills in a tremendous need
Right.
and is getting so much really good publicity thanks
For
to the Golf
ladies,
Channel.
yes, yes.
And all of their events are being broadcast now. Those ladies can really play some great golf.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you've got some great featured speakers lined up as well, John. I was
We do.
fascinated to see Craig Schreiner,
That's
the Myrtle
right.
Beach connection, Dalton Floyd, another Myrtle Beach connection, Wade Shumney, you mentioned, Charlie Thrash, John Locks.
That's right.
Out there at Coastal Carolina University, of course, Chad Castleman from Coastal, Daniel Bourne, DB Designs, and then yourself, Dr. John Stamey, and many other featured speakers lined up who are
That's
not
right.
yet on the website, I suspect, that are probably lined up as you continue to update that site, and then a lot of submissions that will be presented.
Right. A lot of the speakers will be listed later on because we're just now starting to receive some submissions
Great.
in golf economics and
Great.
management science and things like that. So as those submissions get in and get accepted,
Great.
we'll be adding those to the website, myrtlebeachgolfconference.com.
Folks can go online. They can register online.
That's right. As of September 1st, they'll be able to register for the conference.
Great. Good.
And let me tell you about the format. It's really kind of nice.
Yes.
We're on the academic portion is on the 13th and 14th, which is a Thursday and a Friday. And then on Friday evening, we're going to have an indoor putting and an indoor closest to the pin competition at Martin's PGA Tour Superstore.
Tremendous, John. Brilliant
right.
idea. The one over here on 29th Avenue?
Exactly.
Right.
And then what's going to happen Saturday morning is we're going to be out at Quail Creek, and we're going to have a golf tournament. We're going to have members of the PGM program, the students at Coastal are going to be playing, along with other members of other folks that are going to be at the conference. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a clinic. We don't know who's going to be doing the clinic prior to the tournament, but it'll be a PGA pro. We're looking around right now. So
and some other great retired PGA players, I believe, someone to be highlighted.
We're
working
looking
on that.
around to see exactly what we're going to do, but it looks like we're going to be holding a reception to honor
somebody very special.
Actually, several people that have contributed a lot to golf on Thursday night. And so there'll be more about that on the website, and also if you'll help us out a little bit, we'd like to.
I told you ahead of time we want to do that. We sure want to open the door for that. And the Myrtle Beach Golf Conference is a tremendous vehicle, the first of its kind. Is it the first of its kind that you've been able to find out worldwide, or just in the Palmetto State?
No, it really is the first academic conference that I've been able to find. I've looked all over. There are a number of commercial exhibitions that take place all around the country, but those are really trade shows. And this is the first conference that's really focusing on golf. And as an add-on, and I know it's not on the website, but it'll be up very soon, Andy Tiger from Southeastern Oklahoma State has agreed to be the first or the inaugural editor of the Journal of Golf.
Oh, great, John. How exciting.
We're going to there is no journal, the academic journal, that's peer-reviewed and widely distributed that focuses on golf. And, there are a number of folks. Andy said right now he's reviewing 4 papers on golf to various journals throughout the world. And those articles are a little bit misplaced because, it's hard for a PGA pro or a superintendent to know where to go find them. But if we have one central location where people can publish, and we can also link out to articles that we find, that's going to be a lot of help to folks.
Journal of Golf.
So you'll be able to go to, and don't go there just yet, but probably around the 1st of October when we put out what's called the call for papers, the first round call, you'll be able to go to journalofgolf.com.
Another great .com name, journalofgolf.com. That's brilliant, John.
Well, we were very fortunate, and again, Dr. Andrew Tiger, Southeastern Oklahoma State University, will be the editor-in-chief. Pleased to have him on board. We're assembling several other folks to be on the editorial board, and we think we're going to have something good there. Something
well, if
really
a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family out of the house, John, what's the best phone number for someone? I know you said registration's not till September 1st. It's very reasonably priced for the 3-day event.
That's right.
But if someone wants to learn more about it, what's the best phone number? And, of course, I guess they can go to MyrtleBeachGolfConference.com.
They can go to MyrtleBeachGolfConference.com. There you'll find my email address, and you'll also find my office number. You can call me directly at Coastal Carolina University. My number is 843 area code 349-2552.
843-349-2552. Very easy to remember that. We want to talk a little bit about the tournament itself on the 15th. That's going to be a tremendous day. And, of course, the idea of raising some funds that day and even donating some funds
right.
that day. What's the push behind that?
What I've done is I have worked with the Coastal Carolina Educational Foundation.
Great.
We're set up so that we're going to have various avenues for people to be able to sponsor, and they can write a check directly to the Coastal Educational Foundation, and those monies, those sponsorship dollars will be going to PGM program scholarships. So students at Coastal Carolina will benefit from the scholarship money that's donated for whole sponsorships. And so we've about got that worked out. The folks in the advancement office were very kind and quite helpful. So we should have that worked out by the time registration pops up on September the 1st.
Let's just break down simply, and I know you put on lots of conferences, John, but for viewers who may want to attend, who should attend? Who in our viewing area should attend? Who should be there on Thursday and Friday, and ultimately for the golf tournament on Saturday? And how about if they're not really golfers? Could they still come out and be a part of the event?
They certainly can. Anybody that's in Myrtle Beach that enjoys golf, that watches golf on television, should come. It's going to be very different from what you see on the Golf Channel or televised golf tournaments. We're going to be talking about, well, how can we deliver a better round of golf? How can we make golfers enjoy the experience that they have more? We're going to talk about conservation, and a green approach, no pun intended, but a green approach to golf course management is very, very important in these days when there are terms like global warming and global dimming going around. We've got to really manage our resources wisely.
Yes.
I know Craig Schreiner is going to talk about how he can take a course and he will look at the original design from the original architect.
Right.
And a lot of courses apparently were redesigned in the 60s and 70s, and they strayed away from their original designs. When he goes, he does a lot of restoration, and he'll also do a lot of work in terms of drainage so that they can really take advantage of all the water and all the moisture that comes in, and they're not having to use so much from the city water supply, which is very important.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, over in England, golf courses were originally built as buffers between factories and people where they live.
I didn't know that.
That's right. And over there, golf courses, most of them are municipal. Most of them receive state and city funds.
Right.
They're municipal, but they're great courses. And I mean, we have one. We just played the U.S. Open this year on a municipal course, Torrey Pines, out in San Diego.
Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a municipal course, not even just a public, but it's open for it. They encourage everybody in town to play, and courses like that have been redesigned so that they have more of a bent toward conservation of resources, using less and producing more. And so anybody that's interested in golf, we're not just interested in how to swing, how to lower our score. We're also interested in the game, the course, and just everything about it. It's an entire culture of golf, and that's what we'll be.
John.
That's what we'll be talking about for 2 days. I know I'm going to have fun.
You mentioned Craig Schreiner, a great name. Also, we mentioned Dalton Floyd, a nationwide renowned attorney and golf issues.
Exactly.
Craig Schreiner, for viewers who aren't familiar with him, his background is
he's a golf course architect, and he just redesigned the greens on the South Course at Firestone, where they just had the World Golf Championship Bridgestone Invitational about 3 weeks ago. He redesigned those greens, and he just did a redesign of Pine Lakes International for Bryson Chapin.
Sure.
So, and apparently he's done a wonderful job. I can't wait to get out there and play the course.
Oh yeah, very definitely.
Oh, and by the way, I'm going to mention something to you, speaking of playing golf on the Grand Strand.
Please,
I
John.
read the funniest new column on golf, and it was in the Myrtle Beach Herald. Greg, can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. Doug Kelly's column. That's his second one. It's in this week's Herald, and folks need to get it out. Doug on golf, I believe, or they can go online to MyrtleBeachHerald.com. If they're not reading the Internet column, they need to go ahead and click on the golf link there and check that out. There'll also soon be a link to MyrtleBeachGolfConference.com from the site. I think some other opportunities golf-related here in the area that we sure want to drive home traffic through. But MyrtleBeachHerald.com's got tremendous information there, and the ability to go ahead and piggyback on that for some of our great columnists. And also, many of them are not syndicated, but recognized in a lot of heralds around the country. Great heralds, the Orlando Herald. I think I saw you've gotten some press up at the Detroit Herald.
And especially the Iowa City Herald.
IowaCityHerald.com. If viewers go online and check out OrlandoHerald.com or Palm Springs Herald, another great golf capital, and hopefully they'll begin to see other great columnists like Doug and yourself populating throughout the country. We're very excited about that.
Now, Greg, I got one question. Am I the first guest that's ever turned it around and interviewed you for a minute?
You're not.
I'm not.
You're not.
Gosh,
I think
I thought
actually we had Donald Smith may have done that at one time. I'm trying to think. I know there's some folks who've yearned to do that, John. Absolutely. Maria Elias Williams has talked many times about coming on the show to try to do that. But that's a tough thing to do.
So Donald and I did turn the tables at least a minute.
My father had tried to do that at one time, I'm afraid. He tried to flip it on that. I can't remember who else. Luke Everett, maybe, my younger brother, John, who you, of course, did a great piece on sixplates.com, and there are sixplates.blogspot.com.
Sixplateswinebar.com.
Sixplateswinebar.com. That's exactly right. They're getting ready to relaunch sixplates.com, which is very exciting. You know, there's so many things that go into putting on a golf conference or putting on any conference. And of course, this has become old hat to you. The last time you were with us, you were promoting the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning Conference, which I think is even changing its name going forward. The second annual is coming up. I believe the third annual
Computer Security
Conference 2009 will be coming up in the not-too-distant future. What is the future of putting on these conferences, John? And of course, you picked Myrtle Beach here. There's probably places throughout the country, even worldwide, that you could put on golf conferences and computer security conferences and Scholarship of Teaching and Learning conferences.
Well, people just love Myrtle Beach. I know I always wanted to live here growing up, and I was very fortunate that Steve Shield out at Coastal Carolina gave me a chance and hired me 7.5 years ago, still here. And by the way, since you mentioned those two other conferences, can I get in just a quick plug for...
Quick plug. We just got a couple of minutes.
Quick plug. First of all, Computer Security Conference program chair for next year is John Kibler of ASET in Charleston.
Great.
John was just out at Black Hat DEF CON, a major security conference out in Las Vegas, and he is, I'm going to get it finalized next week, but it looks like Johnny Long, who's a well-known speaker and computer security expert, is thinking about coming here to be our keynote speaker for the security conference.
Right? How exciting.
And Dixie Goswami from Clemson University, she's a Strom Thurmond Fellow. She is attributed with an article called Writing Across the Curriculum, which is a very famous thing. She's agreed to be the keynote speaker for the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning Conference, which will also be coupled with the Teaching Excellence Conference. So there'll be several, and we're also looking at adding, actually several people have come to me about even adding on to that last week. A couple of universities are looking at having some things, and they'd like to just bundle those. So it looks like our education conference here is going to get bigger. It looks like the Computer Security Conference, we're growing. We've got some great people.
Third annual. Unbelievable, John.
ComputerSecurityConference.com.
And the student support is really wrapped around it. The faculty support is wrapped around it. The administration is wrapped around it. And an area of folks wanting to get involved, sponsors and otherwise, seeing international companies like IBM send folks in, seeing local companies like HTC send folks in, and to see area hospitals send in their technology officers is a big, big testament to the support and recognition of a great conference. If it's put on right, you're going to get the right people to attend it.
Yes, we are, and I really appreciate everyone in the community, the Coastal Carolina community, the Myrtle Beach community, and just the academic community at large that have helped make these conferences the success that they've been, and we see them growing. And as Myrtle Beach grows, you know, it's going to become one of the largest, if not the largest, cities in South Carolina. Yes, we're known for the beach. Yes, we're known for golf. We're also becoming known for academics. You know, the School of Business just made the Princeton Review. We've got our MBA program, which is AACSB accredited. I teach in that program. I'll send in a plug for there.
I love it.
So you know, we've got a good university, we've got a good community, and a good academic community. So I believe that conferences are going to be here to stay, and beautiful sunny Myrtle Beach.
Good work, John. Sorry, we've run out of time. Thanks so much for being with us
No
this
problem.
morning. Good, happy Monday.
Thank you.
Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Dr. John Stamey, the General Chair for the first annual Myrtle Beach Golf Conference, coming up next. If you've always wanted to get a little academic but you didn't know how, this is your chance. The first annual Myrtle Beach Golf Conference is around the bend, mid-November. We're talking about it's coming up fast, literally 90 days away, but you got to take the time to go online and learn more about the conference. MyrtleBeachGolfConference.com has tremendous information, and of course it also opens up registration opportunities. September 1st, you heard John talk about it. Secure registration, you can pay online, very reasonable. This thing is a dirt cheap event. Almost $100 a day, $325 for the 3-day event, 2 days of seminars, of featured speakers, of conference speakers, celebrity speakers essentially, honoring some other special folks in the area, and then the big day of the tournament. The big day of the tournament on the 15th. Take the time. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You can be involved November 13th, 14th, and 15th. Don't pass up the chance to get involved with the Myrtle Beach Golf Conference, the first annual here in the area. It's a real opportunity, and John Stamey is very easy to reach, 843-349-2552. If you've got any questions, you know somebody who could be involved or want to learn more about it, give them a call or go online to MyrtleBeachGolfConference.com. Dr. Stamey,
Thanks
so much for being with us early this Monday morning.